In my last video, I got a lot of things wrong about the foretellers, and kind of rushed through the Keyblade War, so I'm here to fill in some of the gaps. With the multiple games of Among Us, Maleficent traveling through time, and the entire world being digitized, I got a little overwhelmed, so let me try to explain, fairly quickly, the Keyblade War. A long-ass time ago, there was a war so intense that no one remembers it. The original Keyblade War. During this war, the embodiment of darkness was shattered into 13 pieces. And from then on, this war was waged in secret. There's no telling how many battles were fought against the darkness. The only battle that was actually recorded was the end of the Keyblade War. The battle was short, but brutal. 5 unions, Keyblade-wielding teens, fought against each other. A union cross, if you will. They were consumed with paranoia, believing that the other unions stole from them. One of the leaders couldn't be trusted. Someone had to be the traitor. It was preordained by the Master of Masters. There was no reason he would lie to them. He knows all. He is a god of knowledge and fate. He's a foreseer that knows everything that's going to happen. You can trust him implicitly. Some of these teens, and a few others, survived the war, and they joined the only surviving union, called the Dandelions. This group was handpicked to survive the war, and they lived on in a digital world, a matrix, a simulation. Back when the Master of Masters learned that darkness was shattered into 13 pieces, and each of these pieces is actually sentient, from that moment onward, his goal was to lock those pieces of darkness away, to hold these solidified wills of sin away. This raw emotion of evil and pain solidified, and he wanted to lock that within people so that it could not escape and could not do what it wanted. When he looked into the future, he created an insane and evil plan. And this is why he looked into the future. The end of the Keyblade War was just all a dark ritual. After the battle, each of the foretellers became a living trap. They all survived the war, and they were meant to hold each of these pieces of darkness in their heart, and the only way to do that was to do some horrible shit, and that's what the battle was. At first, their names seemed stupid and confusing to me, but based on this comment I saw, thank you, I always read your comments, you're great. You really keep me in check whenever I mess things up. This group is a lot deeper than you think. After seeing some comments and going to Reddit and reading up on the theories, some people believe that each of these characters is based on one of the 7 deadly sins. You have Master Envy, the snake. Her name is derived from the word invidia, which means envy. Master Gula, the leopard, comes from gulam, which means gluttony. Master Ira, the unicorn, is from the word ira, or ira, which means wrath. Master Aced, the bear, is from acedia, which means sloth. Ava, the hero of the story, the creator of the dandelions, the fox, is surprisingly derived from the word avarice, which means greed, which is fascinating to me and creates some very interesting implications as to why she saved these people and also why she altered time, because there's a moment where Ava decides to tell the kids about who's in the group ahead of time and give the book to a different person than she's supposed to. And I wonder if that's somehow related to the sin of greed, even though she's the good guy. It is fascinating that the greedy character is the good guy. That is a very interesting thing. The Master of Masters is the embodiment of pride. He's so arrogant in his knowledge of the future that he planned for everything that ever happened. And he thinks he can not control reality, but nudge it. And the last of all of the foretellers is Lushu, my personal favorite. Lushu is supposedly the embodiment of lust or desire. He possesses the bodies of others in order to live forever and pass down the nameless Keyblade no name so that the Master of Masters can see the future. He's the reason that the Master can see the future. And there's a lot of mystery around him. Each of these people is meant to commit horrible, unspeakable crimes in order to become one with the strongest parts of darkness. The Master of Masters specifically says that he wants to trap the 7 strongest pieces of darkness in each of them. So in order to do that, each union was given a specific goal to collect a material called Lux, which you might think, is that connected to Lucio? But no, lux is actually the word for light in Latin, using a lot of Latin words in this game. But the reason they were told to collect lux is to create a struggle for resources. Because they were all fighting over a specific limited resource, it caused them to have tension amongst one another and believe the others were stealing from them. And on top of that, they were each given a hidden extra bracelet that collected dark materials. So they were collecting both darkness and light. And they were fighting over these materials, which was then corrupting them and messing with them. So the Master of Masters, everybody's favorite character, the mom of Kingdom Hearts, used his prophecies to make everyone paranoid. He made them all believe that there was a traitor among them. There was an imposter among us. Somebody was being sus. So in the storm of confusion, the unions all killed each other. The Master of Masters' goal was to trap darkness within the leaders. He wanted to leave the other 6 pieces of darkness free in the world as he locked away the rest. It's debatable whether or not the group traveled to the future after that, or if they did other stuff off screen, because they existed in ancient times and then they show up in Kingdom Hearts 3, but you don't know what they were doing in the meantime. Maybe they were doing other stuff. He does say that when they are separated, they will each hunt out and fight darkness. So maybe they're just fighting different aspects of darkness with darkness inside them. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more in later games. But each one of them is holding on to some aspect of human weakness. And the most important of all of these people, Ventus, was possessed by his need for power. And eventually that darkness within him became Vanitas. So who's to say that others in Kingdom Hearts lore haven't been possessed by darkness? Aqua could have been possessed by loneliness. Terra could have been chained by rage. Riku definitely traps jealousy in his heart and kind of overcomes it. And that leaves 2 unaccounted for darknesses. Maybe Sora has a deep sadness within him that may be a form of darkness. Or maybe even this forced positivity he's always fighting against is a form of darkness. The last one might be inside Xehanort and the reason why he keeps trying to rebalance reality. No one is sure what all this means for the future of Kingdom Hearts. We can never really know where Nomura's going. He makes shit up all the time. These are just more ties for him to use in future stories to help us understand. But what we do know is that the foretellers have returned, and they now exist in present-day Kingdom Hearts. From all the trailers and the secret movies, we know some of them are going to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. Whenever that comes out in 7 million years. I think I project it to show up in 2038, based on the speed at which Kingdom Hearts games come out. But eventually it'll happen. It'll probably drop sooner than we think. It'll probably just appear out of nowhere. They'll just be like, bam, it's here. Kingdom Hearts. Play it. But the Keyblade War was not exactly what I expected. Having only seen the graveyard that was left behind, it built a very large hype around the true nature of this epic battle and incredible lore. And as I've been saying forever, it made me think they were going to make an MMO, which they can still make, by the way. They can still do that if they just do the previous Keyblade War as an MMO. The time when the Master of Masters was young. But for the people who played the mobile game together, that battle was real. They fought together in parties, they became close friends, and they got stronger together. And in the end, they killed each other. It was a dark, sacrificial altar of dead players. Every single person that played Union Cross died in that battle. The top 300 players were lucky. They were remembered. They appeared in Kingdom Hearts 3 as little reaction commands you could press when their ghosts helped. Their spirits helped save Sora and the universe from Xehanort. But the rest of the players, the other people in Union Cross, the ones who just played it a little bit, or played it a lot and just didn't get high levels, they're gone. They only exist as memories in each other's hearts. It's both beautiful and tragic. I wish I was there, but I can only understand the story from what's left behind, and I only know this feeling because of comments I've read on all the Union Cross cutscenes that I've been getting for the videos. Union Cross is complex, and there's so many new characters and digital worlds and alternate timelines and deep, deep, deep lore. There's a lot of hidden stuff lurking in this game. And considering that the original version, the browser version that was only in Japan, doesn't exist anymore, there could have been so much hidden lore that we will never know. It was never translated, and it was just deleted. It's fascinating that Nomura actually managed to create ancient history. People experienced different stories, and many moments were lost. So much of this lore is up to interpretation. It feels like actual history you're trying to uncover when you try to understand what happened in these games. And there's so much discussion about it. Is Lushu possessing Brain? Or is that his original body? Was he Brain in secret? Or is this some kid he's taken over? Are there two of them? How many times has Living Darkness existed before? Did Nomura always know he wanted to do this concept? Or is this another thing he's sneaking in and pre-planting like he always does? We can't ever truly know how much of this he planned ahead of time. And I'm sure he didn't plan any of this ahead of time. But until we learn more, there's still so much more to learn. And I'm still learning more about this series every day. I never expected Kingdom Hearts to last this long when it comes to videos. But if you want to understand Union Cross firsthand, you can watch it on YouTube. I found a really interesting compilation of all the scenes with little context typed at the beginning. That was very helpful for after writing the script to sort of understanding it a little more. You can watch the movie if you play 2.8, or you might be able to find it online. You can even check out the game for free. And surprisingly, recently I learned you can still play the sequel, Dark Road, for free. It's still there, the whole game. You can play it, like it's a single player campaign. You can play it on your phone. I'm doing it right now so that I can get ready for the next big essay about Dark Road. But it's a lot, so it might take me a while. But you can play that game right now. It's actually incredible how well that app is. It's like a free app, and you can watch all the cutscenes of the first games. And then you can also play the latest game all the way through, and there's gonna be another game coming out, so it's kind of a perfect time to jump on. But I've always really been against mobile games in general, but this game is kind of pulling me in. So as much as this game added to the lore, I enjoyed what little we saw of the Keyblade War. The stuff we saw was really solid, and it implies that there's a lot more we didn't see, and I think one day we might see more in a pretty epic MMO that I wish they would just make. Because I don't like MMOs, but Kingdom Hearts might be the one thing that gets me to play an MMO. Anyway, I'm Aloni the Bard, and that's what I know about that. Thanks for listening. Bye. Dude, that one was good. I was really nervous about this script. I felt like it wasn't developed enough, and that I needed to add more to it. But because of my other channel, Aloni, where I improvise my scripts, where I don't write a single script at all, I just take a topic and then just talk about it, I think it's making these videos better. I think being able to express your thoughts with no structure whatsoever makes when you do have structure even better. I never thought I could get better at making videos. I've made 88 of these and I'm still getting better. Maybe one day I will make it. But anyway, I really liked this script. I think it's a very good story. I think this game was very good. When I first played Union Cross and just sort of watched all the cutscenes, I had a pretty good time, but I was like, oh man, I gotta get through all this. But I sort of fell in love with it the more I played it. It's kind of a beautiful game. The art is really nice. I really like this like cutesy 2D artsy style. It really fits the Kingdom Hearts vibe, but kind of changes it up. I don't think I would have liked actually playing this one because I don't really like the mechanic of like using medals of specific characters in like a gacha game style to sort of like attack enemies. But Dark Road has like Chain of Memories vibes. It's like Chain of Memories but with colors instead of numbers, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I love this game. So when I wrote this script, I wrote another one about Ventus, and next week I think I might come out with that one. So keep watching. If you want to watch something else, I've decided to stop plugging my stream because I don't think anybody actually comes to my stream from my videos because I say it. So instead, you should go to Aloni. On Aloni, I just made a video about Nimona. I just recorded it right before this. That video is about a movie that Disney bought the company of and then deleted from existence, and then it fought back and got to exist and be as gay as can be. So you should check it out. It was a Tumblr comic that got turned into a movie, so maybe you should see that, because you'd probably like that. And I really like it, and I feel like everybody should know about it. So it should be on the screen when it says more stuff, so you should probably click that. Anyway, I feel way looser now because of my other channel. Everyone should improvise their scripts a little bit, and then when they do have a script, they can improvise a little, and then they're way better. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.